Hey there, it's Mandee Montana. Are you taking great care of your skin? You know I use great products. I take my vitamins and I drink plenty of water, but I could be better about applying sunscreen daily and making sure my skin is protected against premature aging. What about you? Well, I've got great news. I have a solution. It's the new Premium Diamond Glow Treatment at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler. I love it. I went recently and it exfoliates and hydrates your skin at the same time. Amazing, right? My skin feels so soft and silky after. You have to try it. If you've never had a facial before, they have different options at Hand and Stone, like hydrating and brightening. But if you're struggling with dark spots, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, sallow skin, enlarged pores, or maybe oily skin, this is the treatment for you. If you want your skin to glow and look and feel amazing, book the Diamond Glow. Schedule now by visiting Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com. Welcome to the Celebrating Women podcast, hosted by Mandee Montana. A podcast that celebrates women, their stories, their struggles, and ability to overcome. Conversations that celebrate their gifts, their talents, and courage. It's the Celebrating Women podcast. Presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. With over 20 massage therapists and 6 estheticians certified and trained in multiple protocols, you can get an affordable massage or facial located right here in the East Texas area. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com. Hey, it's Mandee. I've mentioned recently that life is shifting for me. Midlife has been an interesting experience. Lots of changes have happened. A variety of podcast episodes have covered this topic. Quite a few recently, actually, talking about kind of having some shifts in my career in midlife. And this podcast has kind of been a catalyst for it in some ways. It's been a bridge from my life as a radio personality to what I'm doing now, working full-time with a marketing agency. And really, I've learned so much through this experience, through celebrating women, that I have managed to transition well. It has been just a really cool journey where I've had the opportunity to visit with a variety of women, some that have had some pretty big career shifts, kind of like me, going from radio to network marketing and now doing what I'm doing, that it's given me perspective and an opportunity to really listen to how people make those positive shifts in their life. And at this stage of life that I'm in, which hopefully is midlife, right? I hope I live a long and healthy life. Then I'm finding myself smack in the middle of change, transformation, transition, identity shifts. All kinds of things are changing, right? So in the midst of all of that, I think it's time for me to say goodbye to celebrating women. And that's not an easy thing for me to do. But it is an opportunity to say hello to something new. And I want to make sure that I really honor this experience because it has been transformational and filled with love and light and so many positive experiences. It's not so much goodbye so much as it's a new bridge. Here's where I'm going with this, and I'm not saying this as eloquently as I would like, but celebrating women is becoming something new. For the last year, I have been working on this project alone. We started it together, Ashley Fisher and I did, and it was so exciting and wonderful and amazing to get to visit with Ashley weekly, sometimes more frequently than weekly, and then we would roll episodes out later. But it was a different focus than what the show has been for the last year. You know, Ashley and I together had kind of a rhythm and a beat to our conversations and to our interviews that we did. And for the last year, I have felt a little out of step, a little off rhythm, I don't know how to explain it really. Maybe out of sync. I'm staring at NSYNC bobblehead dolls as I say that. Which is going to make for an interesting touchstone as I tell you where I think I'm going with this. This podcast will continue to celebrate women. know that. That part of my life is not changing. Celebrating women's stories and sharing them with you, that is going to be a part of what I do, but I also want to share other things that I love with you. I want to share things about wellness. I want to share places that I've gone. I want to share recipes that I find that are amazing, or, women that I find that are amazing, thoughts, books, ideas that inspire me. I want to be able to share those with you. And I've done a little bit of that over the last year, but I want to kind of shift it and refocus it. And so in the coming weeks, you're going to hear things that are a little bit different, but I think you're going to like it. If you are a friend of mine, or if you know much about me or have followed me on social media, you kind of know my vibe. I'm a cat mom. I'm a cat mom of 3. I am married. I live in East Texas. I am active volunteer in my community and have a heart for service and for people and relationships and community. All of those things are very important to me. I love to read fiction and nonfiction. Personal growth is important to me. And I love to travel. And I find it very important to take care of myself, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. So all of those things are what's coming in. Are you ready for it? The Midlife Millennial Journey. The next chapter with Mandee Montana. Voila. Yes, that's what the podcast is transitioning into. So again, the title of the podcast is changing. The content is going to shift a little bit, but we will still continue to celebrate women as we begin to introduce to you, once again, the title, Midlife Millennial Journey, the next chapter with Mandee Montana. Things that happen to us in midlife, things that I find that are helping me in midlife, people that I find that are helping me, how relationships change, how our community shifts and how important it is, and stories of other women that are experiencing similar things. We'll talk about travel, places to go, things that I like to eat, some supplements that I might recommend that have worked for me, all kinds of things like that. At the same time, we'll still continue to have powerful conversations with women, probably many of them in midlife, which, is a lot of years. So I am looking forward to this shift. I hope that you are too. And I just want to say how grateful I am for those of you that have been on this journey with me from the beginning, especially to Ashley, because I would not have started this podcast without her. I did not have the courage to do it on my own. And also a big shout out to my friend Mike Wilkerson, because he has been encouraging me to do this for a very long time before I started, and also didn't have the confidence or courage to do it at the time. But with Mike's expertise, he has a podcast that you should definitely check out. It's called The Cologne Podcast. Without his guidance and Ashley's willingness to jump in with both feet and do this with me, I would not have done it. I've got to say, I'm actually pretty proud of myself that I've continued on for a year without her. At first, it was like, oh, okay, I can do this. This is a new challenge. And it evolved, and I brought in some amazing friends that kind of rotated the guest host chair with me for a while. And so a huge shout out and thank you to those kind of guest hosts and friends of mine that have hopped in the seat so many times, like Kathy Bosley, Carlene Dark Bays, Stephanie Taylor, Kimberly Carney. I feel like I'm forgetting someone important, but so many people have joined me and just had these wonderful conversations over the last year. It's been an interesting experience, and I am a little bit nervous about this. If you've ever tried something new or gone through a big change, maybe you've experienced that. That is something I've experienced throughout my life. Anytime I get to a transition point where I'm doing something new, I have a little bit of trepidation, a little bit of anxiety. Usually I just march on through and things turn out pretty well, but that's where I'm at with this. So any encouragement that you have, or if you have some topic ideas or people that you would love for me to interview, then let me know. Also, the timing of the release of the podcast has been a little off lately. For 2 years, though, we were like every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Things are going to probably come a little bit more sporadically with this. Just think of it as like perimenopause. You don't know when it's coming, right? You don't know when the hot flashes are coming. No, I'm kidding. I'll try to get into a rhythm with it as far as the timing of releases. Now that I'm working full-time with a marketing agency, but I am going to aim for twice a month. So you may get more, you may get less, but we're going to aim for twice a month, and hopefully some interesting interviews on the horizon. I've got a list of some people that I want to sit down and talk to, some specifically in our community that I feel like have some powerful thoughts and ideas to share, and also some topics that I'm interested in as I'm trying to figure out how to navigate midlife. I mean, I feel like my body's just constantly changing. So I've been a member of a local wellness group, concierge medicine, for the past couple of years now, coming up on my 2-year anniversary. You know, they've got a variety of ways that they have been helping me navigate this and understand what's going on in my body and doing the labs and all of the science behind it. I look forward to bringing on some of their staff there to talk a little bit more about it. I'll share some of my personal experiences, but also some tips and guidelines for where to start if you're in the same place that I am. The biggest piece to that puzzle for me was I didn't know what was happening. And I didn't think I was old enough to be experiencing what I was experiencing. So, you know, perimenopause has become a buzzword in the last year or so. But 3 years ago, when this started to hit me, I didn't know what that was. And I didn't understand why my body was so irregular. My moods were so off. And I didn't feel like myself. I was really resisting the fact that it could be my hormones because I was 39 years old, and that didn't happen until, you know, late 40s, early 50s is what I thought. Well, that's simply not true. It can start as early as 35-ish. So lots to talk about there as well, and I look forward to sharing that experience and also sharing things that are happening in our East Texas community as well as things that bring me joy. I think on a recent episode, I shared with you that I used to compile what was called a yay list. I said that with air quotes, like things that are fun that make me say, yay. The yay list, we had a running list in our office. My friend Chuck and I did at the radio station where we worked together. Right now, things that fall on that list are like my homemade lattes in the morning that I've added pumpkin spice spices to with a little bit of sugar-free, like brown sugar and cinnamon and sugar-free vanilla almond flavors. I've just concocted my own special latte that I make in the morning with those flavors, espresso, almond milk, and collagen, so that I'm getting my collagen into that. My homemade latte recipe is definitely on the yay list right now. So that's just one example of things that I love and I want to share with you, because if you've never tried making that at home, it's pretty easy to do, and it saves me like $7 at Starbucks, right? Books that I'm reading, you know, I'm a reader. I'm super proud of the fact that I'm a reader, as I learned that there are more and more people that aren't reading. Listen, I scroll social media too, no shame there whatsoever. But I also step away and actually read books, and I read news articles, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. It's really easy to just check out and look at TikTok or Reels, and I do those things too, believe me. But I would encourage you to also make time to read, whether it is nonfiction, personal growth and development. I could give you some recommendations on books that I love in that genre, or also fiction. I'm a big fan of, I grew like in high school, I found fantasy. I started reading Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and some of C.S. Lewis's books. I actually read the Narnia Chronicles at like age 18 and was blown away by the simplicity of the storytelling, but also what it made me think about. Well, that's part of what I love about reading, is it prompts me to think. And I enjoy thinking. I enjoy pondering ideas and wondering about things and then having conversations about it. And I think that helps with creativity and inspiration and empathy. And I would encourage you to do so. If you're not actively reading, I would encourage you to do so. You know, you can get a free library card. You don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money on books. I personally love Audible. I've been an Audible subscriber for probably close to 10 plus years now. And I listen to books. I also listen to podcasts, but I love listening to audiobooks. And oftentimes I download them to my Kindle so that, they match. But there's a free app that does something similar with libraries called Libby. So there are definitely ways to experience reading on a budget. If that's something that's been holding you back, I would definitely encourage you to do it. So I'm excited to share those things with you, what I'm reading and exploring, places that I go. Traveling has opened my mind and my heart to cultures and food and drinks and ideas and people. And it's been such a wonderful experience having the opportunity to travel. Sometimes I've traveled very extravagantly. Other times I've traveled on a budget. Both ways I love, and I look forward to sharing with you some ideas on, maybe how to afford to travel on a budget, or maybe how to earn a trip. I've certainly done that too. It's part of the reason that I was so excited about partnering with my network marketing company that I partner with. I love helping people feel better and sharing the nutritional supplements that have helped me, but I also really love to travel and help other people be able to travel too on somebody else's dime and have experiences and adventures and create memories that you may not have had the opportunity to without it. So I look forward to sharing things like that with you. I look forward to talking more with you about self-care and how I manage that for myself, and also learn new ways to better take care of myself and those around me by having conversations with people. One of the ways that I do, of course, is with Hand and Stone. They've been a sponsor of the podcast for over 2 years now. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler in the Cumberland Shopping Center. And really, the way that partnership began was when I was in radio, there was an opportunity for me to endorse the spa. So I had a massage. I loved it. And so we created a partnership there. When I left radio full time, the franchisee here in Tyler, Mike Petrie, told me that if I ever started a podcast, that he would love to sponsor it. And so that relationship that I built with the spa, I stayed a member even after the endorsements ended. That relationship that I built transferred into the sponsorship, but I'm still a very active member at the spa because I find it hard to unplug. And really, that's the one place that I know I can go and turn my phone off and just be quiet and still and be cared for a solid 50 minutes. And it is absolutely something that I look forward to all the time, and physically something that I need in my life. I had some stressful situations kind of compounding over the last several months, and so much so that it has recently, it manifested in like my jaw and my neck and my shoulders, kind of in a TMJ sort of situation where my jaw was like locking up and really hurting and popping sometimes when I would talk. And this last time that I visited Hand and Stone, I had the massage therapist work on my jaw and my neck and the base of my skull. And I got to tell you, I was sore for probably 2 hours afterwards, but I knew I was going to wake up the next morning and feel better. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. I went from like being tied up like a knot in my jaw and my neck and just being so tight and locked up and in pain to just loose and free and comfortable and able to smile without hurting again. It's amazing. So wellness and ideas around that and practical ways for self-care. I realize not everybody can afford to go do that all of the time. But, sometimes we shift things around to make things a priority if we need them. And for me personally, that is something that I make a priority, just like I make having my supplements on hand a priority, right? It's different for everyone. I'm not saying you have to do what I do at all, but finding new ways to take care of ourselves, some that maybe we invest in and some that maybe are free of charge. Like, this is one of my favorite ones. I know I've shared it on the podcast before, but it's so simple and it's absolutely free. You can just stop, take a deep breath, and when you exhale, smile. It will make you feel better. Even in the most tense, frustrating moments, I do this. And I used to plug it into my calendar. Literally at 10 a.m., I would get an alert in my calendar that said smile. And that was my cue to stop, take a deep breath, close my eyes for just a second and just smile as big as I possibly could, it's like a reset. It can really make a difference. Does it make everything go away? No, but it can reset your physicality, which can reset your mindset, which can help you approach stress and problems from a new perspective and help you calm down. So things like that, I want to share them with you. So I'm so excited to kind of shift the direction a little bit and find our way down this new path and this journey together. I feel like many of the women that listen to the podcast now are in midlife as well, and they're experiencing the same things, or at least that's the feedback that I'm getting. I'm looking forward to this new direction, this new journey. And again, just want to share how grateful I am for those of you that have supported this project all along the way. Some of you found it at the very beginning and have been super committed to listening to every show, even if that means that you stop for a while and then you binge listen several episodes in a row. For example, one of my friends recently found the ACOTAR episodes that Kelly Ebenstein helped me co-host, where we talked about the powerful characters of Sarah J. Maas's books, from A Court of Thorns and Roses, Throne of Glass, and the Crescent City series, and how we highlighted the protagonist in each book. And then we also highlighted the women in the books and their strengths and the way that they added to the story, but also the way that they can inspire us in our own lives. So I have a friend that's recently been listening to those episodes because she just stumbled across them. So however you have consumed the show over the last couple of years, I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you. Again, this was something that I was excited about when I started, but also a little bit nervous. And I'm having similar feelings now as we shift directions and take on a new path and journey. But I want to say thank you and also invite you to continue this journey with me. Even if it's not exactly what it has been before, I invite you to check it out, see how it is. And I also invite you to be a part of the conversation. Feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Mandee Montana. And of course, you can find us on Buzzsprout. And I encourage you to be part of the conversation. I would love to hear what you want to hear about, or if there are previous topics or guests that you would love to come back and hear more from, or if you want to be a guest, let me know. We could definitely invite you on and let you be a part of the Midlife Millennial Journey. The next chapter with Mandee Montana. There's an opportunity to send a text right there in the show notes. Please feel free to do so. I would love that. Just send a text right there in the show notes. Just click on that link and let's get connected.
The Celebrating Women podcast wants to hear from you. Email us a voice message to celebratingwomenpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear your story or the story of an incredible woman you know. Become part of the conversation on social media. Facebook.com/Celebrating Women Podcast. On Instagram, search Celebrating Women Podcast. The Celebrating Women Podcast has been presented by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, Texas. Book your appointment today. Stop by the spa in Cumberland Shopping Center or online at handandstonetyler.com. Support the show for as little as $3 per month at celebratingwomenpodcast.buzzsprout.com or visit our show notes. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the Celebrating Women podcast.